if you buy a watch at a department store and use it only in the way it was intended to be used, but the watch stops working the next day, then the department store will refund your money. So by this very reasonable standard, BJ's store should give me a refund, even though they themselves are not a department store, since the watch I bought from them stopped working the very next day. Jasmine, what's our conclusion?
The conclusion is I should get a refund even though they're not a department store.
Excellent. And what are the standards for getting a refund are buying it at the department store and using it only in the way it was intended. But if it stops the next day, then the department store will give you a refund. So we're saying that this is a reasonable standard. And so we're saying like, hey, they should give me a refund, even though I didn't buy it from a department store, since it stopped working the very next day. The flaw here is I'm thinking like, well, why do they have to follow the department store's standards?
See, that's what my prediction was. So that's how I got to C. But everybody has D. So
all right. See, a seller should refund the money that was paid for a product if the product does not perform as. Oh, that's a sufficient assumption.
F, because of the F.
Not in the answer choice. So we know that this is a necessary situation because it relies upon. But a seller, like, yeah, if C was true, that would make it so this should happen, right? Like, hey, you should do this if you disagree. Like, however, just because they should do that, that doesn't, if this, yeah, that's sufficient. It's too strong. Like, and then D, the consumer did not use the way in a way contrary to the way it was intended to be used. Yes, because what happens if they did use the watch in a way contrary to the way it was intended to be used?
They wouldn't get the refund. They shouldn't be.
Yeah, so yeah, excellent. It goes away this first thing, so it doesn't happen. So our argument would fall apart. So that's why our answer is D. It's more mild than what whoever selected C is.
Yeah.
Great question. Any other questions on this one? All right, let's